If you are looking to explore the cosmos but want to step outside the familiar territory of Star Trek, you are in the right place. Today, we are counting down the 10 best space shows that deliver epic interstellar adventures, political intrigue, and narratives that will absolutely enthrall you. So without further ado, let's dive in. Number 10. Stargate Universe. It is a 2009 science fiction adventure series developed by Robert C. Cooper, starring Robert Carlyle. The narrative centers on survivors of Icarus Base, who are forced to flee through the Stargate's ninth chevron. The story revolves around their journey aboard Destiny, an ancient ship exploring distant galaxies, as they face severe survival challenges. The series boasts a darker atmosphere, featuring gritty visual effects and deep thematic explorations of human endurance. Its strength lies in Carlyle's highly nuanced performance and the show's innovative, survival-focused concepts. However, the show's pacing often feels like a slow burn, and underdeveloped interpersonal conflicts occasionally undermine the overarching tension. Despite ending on an unfinished note, its emotional depth stands out. Number 9. Space Above and Beyond. It is a 1995 military science fiction drama created by Glenn Morgan and James Wong, featuring Morgan Weiser. The narrative centers on the year 2063, depicting United States Marine aviators battling an enigmatic alien race known as the Chigs. The story revolves around the 58th Squadron on the USS Saratoga as they navigate intense space combat, prejudice, and complex moral dilemmas. The show presents a gritty depiction of interstellar warfare, utilizing impressive practical effects for its era. It excels in delivering compelling narrative elements and strong ensemble performances that highlight the psychological toll of war. However, the series occasionally suffers from generic dialogue and relies on well-known military themes without adding much originality. Although its single-season run leaves arcs incomplete, the ambitious storytelling provides a gripping experience. Number 8. Red Dwarf. It is a 1988 sci-fi comedy series created by Rob Grant and Doug Naylor, starring Craig Charles and Chris Berry. The narrative centers on Dave Lister, the last known human alive, who awakens 3 million years in the future aboard a massive mining ship. The story revolves around his comedic adventures, alongside a holographic simulation of his former roommate, an evolved humanoid cat, and an eccentric ship computer. The series cleverly subverts traditional space opera tropes, offering a unique aesthetic that balances bleak isolation with outright silliness. Its brilliant strengths include innovative comedic concepts and the phenomenal chemistry of its core cast. Nevertheless, the show's low-budget visual effects and inconsistent flow in later seasons can sometimes disrupt the humor. Despite its occasionally overpowering ridiculousness, its sharp wit remains stellar. Number 7. Firefly. It is a 2002 sci-fi western adventure created by Joss Whedon, starring Nathan Fillion and Gina Torres. The narrative centers on the ragtag crew of the Serenity, a renegade spaceship traversing a gritty, post-Civil War galaxy. The story revolves around Captain Mal Reynolds and his loyal companions as they survive as smugglers, evading the oppressive Alliance and savage space factions. The show visually merges rustic Western aesthetics with futuristic technology, creating a beautifully nuanced and lived-in atmosphere. Its strengths lie in deeply emotional character arcs, incredibly witty dialogue, and innovative world-building. However, the series suffers from pacing issues due to its original out-of-order broadcast, and possesses an undeniably unfinished note following its premature cancellation. Although its single season leaves several fascinating mythologies underexplored, the profound emotional depth compensates for its brevity. Overall, it is an absolute must-see for fans of character-driven, genre-bending space dramas. Number 6. Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It is a 1988 sprawling space opera anime directed by Noboru Ishiguro. The narrative centers on a 150-year interstellar war between the autocratic Galactic Empire and the democratic Free Planets Alliance. The story revolves around rival military geniuses, ambitious Imperial leader Reinhard von Lohengrin, and tactical historian Yang Wen Li, as their ideological clashes reshape the galaxy. The series features meticulous animation that underscores its immense scale and philosophical ambition. It excels in delivering unparalleled political intrigue, incredibly nuanced character development, and masterful strategic space battles. Conversely, the show's massive cast and heavy reliance on overpowering details, such as extensive political exposition, can result in a demanding, slow-burn pacing. Despite a daunting episode count and dense dialogue that might deter casual viewers, the intricate storytelling remains awe-inspiring. Number 5. The Orville. It is a 2017 sci-fi comedy drama created by and starring Seth MacFarlane alongside Adrienne Palicki. The narrative centers on Captain Ed Mercer and his crew in the 25th century aboard the USS Orville. The story revolves around their diverse interstellar explorations, balancing complex alien encounters with the interpersonal dramas of an eclectic human and extraterrestrial crew. The show brilliantly captures a vibrant, visually magnificent aesthetic reminiscent of classic space exploration series, utilizing excellent CGI and striking production design. Its standout features are its emotional depth, surprisingly poignant social commentary, and deeply compelling narrative arcs. However, the series occasionally struggles with an inconsistent flow, shifting abruptly from goofy sitcom humor to heavy philosophical debates. Although its first season relies heavily on generic comedic setups, it quickly evolves into a genuinely sophisticated adventure. It is a fantastic recommendation for viewers seeking a heartfelt homage to episodic space operas. Number 4. Farscape. It is a 1999 science fiction adventure series created by Rachna S. O'Bannon, featuring Ben Browder and Claudia Black. The narrative centers on modern-day astronaut John Crichton, who is accidentally flung through a wormhole into a chaotic, distant galaxy. The story revolves around his alliance with escaped alien prisoners aboard Neue, a living biomechanoid ship, as they endlessly evade the militaristic peacekeepers. The series employs a wildly imaginative visual style, utilizing revolutionary puppetry and practical effects to craft truly alien worlds. It excels with its highly original concepts, bizarre species designs, and the fierce chemistry between its leads. Yet, the show's unapologetically weird tone and occasionally erratic pacing can feel overwhelming to traditional sci-fi fans. Despite a chaotic flow and a steep learning curve for its complex lore, its emotional intensity is remarkable. Number 3. The Expanse. It is a 2015 hard science fiction series developed by Mark Fergus and Hawk Ostby, featuring Stephen Strait and Shohreh Aghdashloo. The narrative centers on a fractured, colonized solar system where Earth, Mars, and the asteroid belt sit on the brink of war. The story revolves around the crew of the Rocinante and a weary detective as they uncover a vast political conspiracy involving an enigmatic, dangerous alien protomolecule. The show features visually magnificent, hyper-realistic physics and meticulously designed spacecraft, creating a remarkably immersive atmosphere. Its profound strengths include masterful world-building, intricate political intrigue, and incredibly nuanced character development. However, the series often suffers from a notoriously slow-burn pacing in its early seasons, with overpowering geopolitical details that demand strict viewer attention. Although its heavy reliance on complex scientific jargon can initially alienate viewers, the narrative payoff is extraordinary. Number 2. Babylon 5. It is a 1994 epic space opera created by J. Michael Straczynski, starring Bruce Boxleitner and Mira Furlan. The narrative centers on a massive, neutral space station designed to foster diplomacy among rival alien empires. The story revolves around the station's command, staff, and ambassadors as they navigate galactic conflicts, an ancient war against the enigmatic shadows, and Earth's descent into a totalitarian regime. The series pioneered serialized storytelling, utilizing early CGI that reflects the technological limitations of its time. It shines through its phenomenal pre-planned narrative arc, delivering profound emotional depth and unparalleled political drama. On the downside, the show occasionally suffers from generic dialogue and underdeveloped standalone episodes in its outer seasons. Despite dated visual effects and occasional inconsistencies in suspense, its sweeping thematic exploration of war and peace remains unmatched. Number 1. Battlestar Galactica. It is a 2004 military science fiction drama developed by Ronald D. Moore, starring Edward James Olmos and Mary McDonnell. The narrative centers on the near extinction of humanity following a devastating surprise attack by cybernetic creations known as the Cylons. The story revolves around the survivors, led by the aging military vessel Galactica, as they desperately flee toward a mythical planet called Earth amid constant war. The show adopts a visually magnificent documentary-style cinematography, enhancing its raw, claustrophobic atmosphere and visceral space combat. Its strongest elements include riveting, morally ambiguous character arcs, innovative themes of survival, and breathtaking tension. However, the narrative flow occasionally stumbles with overpowering religious details and a controversial final act that leaves some mysteries with a rushed resolution. Although its final season polarizes audiences, the profound psychological and emotional depth of the journey is undeniable. Overall, it is an absolute must-see that redefined modern television,